Dominic here for Kit Guru. We're at ACER Computex 2024, and behind me you can see an OLED monitor. This one though is a bit different. So this one isn't quite the first of its kind. The first was actually announced at CES, but this is a 480 Hertz 2560 by 1440p monitor. So obviously that is a very high refresh rate. And you probably know that if you're looking for a QD OLED monitor at 1440p, they currently top out at 360 Hertz. So by going for the WOLED panel, ACER is able to achieve 480 Hertz. Obviously with 480 Hertz, you should get very good motion clarity, but I don't think ACER is really doing the best job of demonstrating that, considering we're now looking at Horizon Forbidden West running at just 41, 42 FPS. So I would say they could definitely be running something like CSGO, and you'd really be maxing out the potential of this panel, as it's obviously all meant to be about fast-paced FPS games, things where you can really push frame rates as high as possible to get the most from the motion clarity. And if we move over to the left, we can see the new Predator X34X5. So this is using this is a QD OLED monitor. It's using the 240 Hertz QD OLED panel from Samsung. We've seen this from a bunch of other people at Computex this year. Corsair had one, MSI had one. Pretty much anyone you can name probably has one as well. So again, motion clarity should be very good at 240 Hertz with the ultra wide form factor. Unfortunately, that chap just died. But again, I'd expect pricing to be around the £1,000 mark, though that's not confirmed. Now we're looking at the X32X3, which is our second QD OLED monitor. It's the same 32-inch, or technically 31.5-inch QD OLED panel from Samsung that, again, we've seen from plenty other manufacturers. So that's giving it a 240 Hertz refresh rate. You're going to get all the other OLED benefits as well. The real differentiating factor comes down to things like the OSD, certain features that some manufacturers may or may not have, that sort of thing. But all of the panels are the same, so you know you should be getting a very good pixel response. And now we're moving over to the Predator Z57. I'm pretty sure we've seen this one a few times. I don't know if it's actually on the market right now, but it is an absolute beast. It's not OLED, but it is actually a, I want to say it's a VA panel. And it's also using mini LED backlighting. Like I said, 57-inch, so that is what ACER's calling the DUHD, so I guess dual Ultra HD resolution. So that's 7680 by 2160, and you can see it is supremely curved. This is 1000R curvature, so that is one of the most curvy screens I've ever seen. We have seen one monitor that's 800R, but this is right up there, and you can imagine that is going to make for a very immersive gaming if you're especially doing something like a racing game. Moving over now to graphics. You might not have seen, but ACER, especially in the Predator lineup, but also with the Nitro lineup, they have now entered the discrete graphics card market, currently with Intel and AMD graphics cards. So I have reviewed this one. This was the Bifrost Intel Arc A770. I haven't had a chance to look at all the others, but they definitely have quite interesting designs, especially the ones that have the regular fan, the axial fan, and also the blower fan. That's certainly quite unique, and that is available for both Intel and AMD. But they are also doing slightly higher end triple fan models like the one we can see up here, which is available as a 7800 XT or 7900 GRE. And you can imagine ACER will be on hand for the next generation of RDNA 4 GPUs as well. Now we're moving on to what I'm pretty sure is actually new, as everything we just saw on the wall had already been announced. This is the Predator Bifrost 7800 XT. You can see it's using a triple fan cooler. So the vapor chambers are usually reserved for the most high end of GPUs, like a 4090, maybe a 4080. So the fact that ACER is doing this with a 7800 XT is actually pretty interesting. I would say slightly strange maybe. I'm not sure if that you're going to really get the most benefit for that on a 7800 XT, considering it's not that hard to cool. But it'll be interesting to see if this plays forward to any of ACER's future designs for the RDNA 4 series. NVIDIA claims it powers the world's AI. It certainly is powering a heck of a lot of tech demos here at Computex 2024. We have seen Chat RTX, we have seen the Remix software, we have seen all sorts of AI demos several times. Anyone who's anyone and has any involvement with NVIDIA is showing off their demos. So you can bet there's Jensen on the phone telling them off if they're not running these sorts of demos. Although they seem to be running at what looks like the ACER Predator Sense software.
Switching over to Leo as it's laptop time, and we have two Swift series. All we have is the information on the screen. They are Lunar Lake laptops. You will note They're behind acrylic, and we have a notice saying, please do not touch. Fair enough. Actually stuff it. I touched. I don't care. However, we can't do anything to test them or to discover the spec of the things. They're locked down. And then moving to the right, Swift with the AMD Ryzen AI 300 series. So 2 Swifts, 1 Intel, 1 AMD. They spread the love, do ACER. A laptop about which we have slightly more information, Swift Go 14. It's thin and it's light, powered by an up to Intel Core Ultra 9 processor with integrated graphics, 2.8K OLED display. But this is an existing product. We're after something new and shiny. And here we have a Swift Go 14 powered by AMD Ryzen 8040 with Ryzen AI. Again, a 2.8K OLED display. 32 gigabytes LPDDR5X RAM, up to 2 terabytes of PCI Express storage. But once again, we're looking for something even more exciting. And we found it, Swift 14 AI with Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite in this instance. There's also the slightly lower tier of Snapdragon X. Copilot Plus PC AI experience. As we mentioned previously on the MSI booth, they just had Copilot PCs. This is Copilot Plus. And the explanation is on that product card. I'll just bring it in, which is that they have up to 45 TOPS NPU AI performance. The thing that fascinates me, and I was wondering about this, up to 26 hours of battery life. If Qualcomm can deliver epic battery life with their new laptops and a decent PC experience, that could make them highly relevant. We don't expect these to be gaming PCs, these are everyday workhorses. But this is the first time we've seen an actual branded Snapdragon X Elite laptop. Hurrah!
Right, so I'm now staring at this Spatial Labs monitor. I have to say, when I stood back, I thought it looked very weird. Once you get in front of it, it really does work. So essentially what they're doing, I'm going to point up at the top very briefly. There's one camera there, and the left obviously maps to your left eye, and the right maps to your right eye, to project as 2 separate images effectively, which gives you this 3D effect. And I have to say, it's very convincing. I've really no idea what it'll look like on camera. I think it'll look like it's flipping between left and right, because it can't quite do it unless you're dead in front of it and the cameras can see your eyes. Like I said, I really have no idea what this is going to look like on camera unless it, because you really have to be right in front of it so it can see your eyes. But like I say, it really is very convincing when you're stood dead in front of it. It gives you a very lifelike 3D image. And there's 3 of them here. So this is a 27-inch 4K monitor. As you can see, it's running Microsoft Flight Sim, and it's running at 160 hertz. So I imagine it's probably a VA or IPS monitor. This is Dominic. We're signing off here from ACER. This has been quite possibly the most jam-packed of all we've seen at Computex this week. It is very, very warm in here, so we're going to head off, maybe get a nice cool drink. We've seen plenty of new monitors, especially the OLED ones I'm interested in. But like, subscribe, do leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you've been most interested in, and be sure to check out our TikTok as well.